There are a number of factors to be considered during the course delivery and submission process with Allen's Training, as there are a number of issues that can delay the processing of your course. We have created this video to assist you with the most common issues and ways you can prevent them from occurring in your courses. Prior to the course, please ensure you review the student information for each course prior to scheduling and delivering the course to ensure you have allowed the correct time frame. If you find the course runs slightly shorter than the required time frame, you must supply detailed comments at the time of data entry, explaining and justifying why the course ran shorter. For example, if the course was delivered as a one-on-one course, then you would state this in your comments, and the student was able to reach competency in a shorter time frame. Student ID and enrollment forms. As each student arrives to the course, you must ensure you cite their photographic ID and the student has written their full legal name on their enrollment form. The student details that are provided on the enrollment form are required information for regulatory purposes, so it is essential that students complete this accurately. The students must complete the correct enrollment form and assessment according to the course they are enrolled in. This is because the certificates are issued according to the assessment paperwork and the student has completed. Under no circumstances are enrollment forms to be swapped. If the student has completed the incorrect form, they will need to complete the right enrollment form which reflects the course they have completed. Course folder and risk assessment. The course folder is part of the course submission and must be completed at the time the course is submitted to Allen's Training. The student must write their name and sign the Allen's Training course folder at the beginning of the session. This acts as both an attendance sheet and is also evidence of the student agreeing that they have read the student rights and responsibilities, and they understand their rights and obligations of completing a course through Allen's Training. The other page of the course folder is a work health and safety risk assessment that must be completed on the training room before the course commences. This is to be completed regardless if the course is being conducted at your regular training room or another venue. The risk assessment is to evaluate the training environment and ensure it is a safe training venue for both you and your students. Activities. These are activities in some courses that may be completed as a group activity. Risk assessments, first aid report forms, and incident report forms are all examples of assessment activities. If activities are completed as a group, each student will still be required to complete the documentation of the activity in their own assessment paperwork. This is so we have evidence of each individual completing all of the tasks. Some of the practical activities in the course will require a certain level of physical ability in order to complete them Before you ever make an adjustment to the way a practical activity is conducted, you must first check that any adjustments are in line with the training package. For example, CPR, which must be demonstrated on a mannequin placed on the floor, can no longer be adjusted to be demonstrated on a table due to the training package requirements. If you need to confirm any adjustments before completing them, please contact Allen's Training. Exams. Each course will have its own written assessment requirements, short answer questions and or multiple choice questions. They are the most common forms and can be completed as a pre-course study for some course types. To view the written assessment requirements for each course, you should refer them to the assessor guide for that course. This can be found on our website. Every student must complete the full written assessment requirements for the course they are completing in order to be issued a certificate. They must also obtain 100% in the written assessment in order to be deemed competent in the training. Assessor comments. The assessment paperwork provided for each course will include sections for the practical scenarios, as the course will be required to make comments in regards to each student's performance of the actual practical task. These comments are evidence of your decision to deem each student competent and is a regulatory requirement to be completed. Examples of the detail required in the assessment comment section could be good bandaging skills, no correction required, or student required correction on the first attempt but demonstrated good hand placement and depth on the second attempt. These would be relevant to the student's performance and provide evidence of your judgment. This means that all sections that have spaces or boxes for assessment comments must be completed for each student. The same applies for any fields that require tick boxes or other information entered, such as date, name, signature of the assessor. All fields must be completed on every student enrolment form in order for a certificate to be issued. Checking paperwork. We often receive paperwork with some of the student section incomplete. Once you have completed the course delivery, we suggest you check through the paperwork before students leave the classroom. This will ensure you have the required information for each student before they leave the venue. Another common issue we face is pages missing from a student's file. In order to issue a certificate, we are required to hold all of the evidence of the student's competency first, which means if pages are missing, then we can't issue the certificate. So before you submit the paperwork to Allen's Training, we ask you check over all the paperwork to ensure all of the required information has been completed and all of the pages have been scanned ready for processing. This will avoid processing delays and ensure your courses are processed in a timely manner. Checking paperwork includes making sure the student has completed all information on the enrolment pages and have answered any relevant questions, checking you have completed every tick box and assessor comment, checking the assessment page is complete, including ticking the satisfactory and competent boxes, and signing the enrolment form deeming the student competent. Every page of the enrolment form has been submitted. One method of checking this is to multiply the number of students by the number of pages in the assessment. For example, 10 students with a 5-page assessment should be a 50-page scan. Course submission timeframes. One of the requirements as an Allen's Training partner is to ensure all course materials are submitted to us within 7 days of the course being delivered. This is to ensure clients receive their certificate within a reasonable time frame of having completed the course and will ensure a high quality service for your clients and students. If you are unable to meet this requirement, we ask you to communicate this to the certificate production team via email. The data entry of the course. Now that you've finished delivering the course and checked the paperwork for completeness, you are ready to enter it into our online system. The process for completing this will depend on whether you have used the pre-registration and electronic enrolment form or whether you've used the paper-based option. In order to assist you with the process, we have created some detailed instruction guides which can be found on our website. Here are some useful tips for the data entry of your courses. If you've used the pre-registration system and one of the invited students didn't attend the course, you should change their result to did not attend during the data entry of the course. The Scheduled tab of the course submission process allows you to record the start and end time of each course. If the course does not run for the correct time, it will prompt you for a response to justify shortening of the course. When entering or confirming the student details into our system, you must ensure their legal name, as shown on their ID, is entered onto the enrolment form and in our system accurately. What is entered into the system is what we will print on the student certificate, so it is really important that no mistakes are made during the entry process. The also known as field for the student's name is only required to be filled in if it is different to the student's legal name. For example, Anthony, also known as Tony, this is also entered into the system as Tony, not T-O-N-Y or T-O-N-Y. Students that are not yet competent do not get entered into the system. However, a note should be left in the comment section. If you use the paper-based enrolment form, there will be an ID number printed on it that you will use to enter the student details into our system. If the ID number does not work, it may be because it has already been entered into our system for that student. Try logging out of the system and log back in. The student you are attempting to enter may now be sitting in the course, ready for you to move on to the next student. If not, and the error still occurs, you'll need to contact us at Allen's Training. Communication. As we have a large number of trainers teaching for Allen's Training, certificate production find emailing the most appropriate method to communicate any issues or follow-up inquiries with you, so it is essential you monitor your emails and courses until it's been processed. This will see course issues rectified in a timely manner and will not disadvantage your students. Email courses@allenstraining.com.au. When entering your course, there is a comment box available to you. You should use this to advise Allens of any relevant information to the course. Some examples may include if you had any issues with a student during training, notes where students may have been injured during training, or students that weren't competent. You can provide a response to any feedback you may have received from the students during the course, or provide on the student surveys. Thank you for watching this presentation. We hope it provides you with some good tips for fast processing of the courses. Remember, clear communication is the key to promoting strong partnerships. We look forward to working with you.